Norway House is named after a fish. CP means fish river. It starts from there and from our history, how Norway House was founded. It's through the trading era. And the resource users are a big part of our community, and through the economy also, bringing new dollars into the economy, boosting the economy of Norway House. So when projects like this with Manitoba Hydro that happen it impacts us, basically how we can enjoy the resources in our area. The times of the swimming, the times of boating, not worried about hitting logs on the channels, and fishing for our own subsistence, whitefish and pickerel. Those days are long gone. You know, as trappers, accessing our resource area along the lakes, the rivers, the water fluctuating, the erosion happening. So it impacts us in every way. Every year we get affected by the way hydro regulates the waters. It impacts us recreationally, it impacts us through our commercial fishing, our trapping. Everything that we were accustomed to doing is basically out the door. It was swept away by the waters. The old people used to talk about the abundance of medicine along the lakes itself. The accessibility of these areas are no longer there. And the way the water is with contamination, the days that we used to drink out of the rivers are long gone. Trappers, fishers take waters out to their camps. And now we're in the middle of cleaning up contamination. Right now we're addressing the issue at 8 Mile. We're Area 15, they call it, where there's contamination in the water. Right now, at this time, they build a coffer dam, and it takes a lot of manpower. You have to protect the environment. For me, as a council member and a resource user of our community, I feel very strong about advocating for the environment, because that's who we are, as people. North of Lake Winnipeg is impacted by erosion, the siltation of the waters along the shorelines, where our fishermen are forced to go out, away from the community. And the trappers are impacted. They can't travel safely along the shoreline with their skittles. So hydro pretty much controls the way we live, and it's affecting our community. We are going to be partners for as long as the water flows. And it's true. But partners work together. Partners don't work against each other. So right now, I'm trying to relay the importance of my resource to my partner, Manitoba Hydro. There's a problem here. You cannot walk away from the environmental issues that we have there. Why is this not an important issue for anybody when it comes down to contamination in water? I created a team. Pretty much started off with just myself and the environmental coordinator of Norway House and the staff. I said, we can't do this alone. If we need to clean up these areas, we need to have a partner with us. Therefore, we talked to Sickfits and North, and we come together in a joint venture where we can work and get things done. And they're providing the expertise that they have, project management they have. Then we learn from that. And PDC works with them. Lake Development works with them jointly. But further to that, we also have an agreement with Dillon Environmental to give us technical support. You have to put your team in place. And for the last 11 months, that's what we've been doing, is putting things in place so that we can have these projects to make it work, so that it comes from Norway House, not from the outside party. That's the key. And having these companies working for us, and we tell them what we need in our resource area. We work very closely with each other, and that makes us more productive in meetings with Hydro. They know that we're not just coming in here talking about it, we're going to actually want you to do something about it. One way or another, you're going to clean it up. And that's where all the teams come in. And J&R is the big company that we have created, together with Norway House and Sickfits and North. Lake Development is on the side to contribute whatever they can in regards to heavy equipment. And right now they're providing us with all the drivers, operators, and camp people that are working at 8 Mile right now. Just the other day, I've learned there's contamination in 2 Mile, another contamination. And both sides now. Reality is that we are going to continue finding contaminations that they have left because Hydro is not divulging information. They basically said, well, we don't know what happened. So getting to know our areas, especially our land that was part of the compensation in 1997, and both sides of the channel at 8 Mile, they're impacted. Well, it's not compensation when it's contaminated. So basically we were compensated with contaminated land. So how do you get around it? We can't just stop and say, hey, we don't want this land, we want to pick somewhere else. Well, the 1997 agreement is law, and the land itself has not been transferred, and we keep asking the questions, why? What's going on here? In regards to shoreline erosion, we like to protect the whole area. And when you look at 8 Mile, there was shoreline protection that happened, but there's two sides to it, right? When you want to protect an area, you put rock. Then now you can't approach that area. You're going into rock. The sand beaches are all gone. You can't approach it. I think protection is the key, but accessing the shorelines is going to be another issue that we have to deal with. And I brought it with Hydro, and they say they can provide floating docks in different areas for access. Regarding remediation of contaminated soils, well, there's no arguments there. It has to be cleaned up. So we're trying to do as much as I can to get them to make commitments that they're going to address these issues, and it's going to happen. The loss of use of the lake itself, how can anybody determine the price of something like that? The lake itself is loss of use, and the shorelines are lost of use. So signing off an agreement that's going to affect us forever is not the way. We got to talk about these things, and the people need to be informed, and that's what we're doing with this project. Information is the key, and we have to share that information to the people.